Hey gang, it's your friendly neighborhood reanimated fish back with another edition of the Mold Flash. Today we're going to be having a look at Dark Energon Defender, Robots in Disguise, Optimus Prime. Now I had wanted to record this video about a week and a half ago, but I have had the worst case of the flu ever. Well, it didn't kill me, but other than that it was pretty bad. Oh well, time to make up for lost time. As you can see, this toy is a recoloring, repaint perhaps you might want to call it, of the regular Voyager-size 2nd edition Optimus Prime from this line. Now, this particular Optimus Prime comes with only a couple of accessories. This nice baby blue, if you can see the color on it, this baby blue sword, which can be pegged onto a forearm via this 5mm peg, or held like an ordinary sword, like so. It can be held in either hand, and it's a little small for his size, but it's got some nice molding on it and colors. The baby blue matches the baby blue on his body almost identically. Now this toy is another thing altogether. It is molded in a gorgeous translucent plastic. I mean, this orange is fantastic. Even where it's used on Prime, it's just awesome. But the problem is this toy, this weapon sucks. When he uses it, when you equip him with it, it can sit in his forearm, and unless you're actively using it, it just folds right back into place. And as you can see, it's got a little LED on the inside, which during the rotation can light up the forearm a little bit, which was supposed to be one of the features of this toy to begin with in the original non-super translucent version. Can also hold it in his hand, but it doesn't like to stay there very well. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, because of the way his fists are, it doesn't stay in there very well. Anyhow, that's enough about accessories. Toss those off to the side, and let's have a detailed look at Prime himself. Now, Optimus Prime's color scheme, with the dark blue, the baby blue, the orange, and the red, with all the translucency on him, is really striking and really bold. Let me see if I can make the baby blue come out a little bit more. There we go. The translucency of this figure adds a lot of cool details. Like, these were on the regular version, but the orange really makes the details inside of his window chest plates show through so nicely. They just look amazing, even from above. Also, on the back, there are a lot of little tiny details that were originally molded on the inside of these plates to make them look neat while you're transforming him. But now, because of this transparent molding, you can see the details through the back. Now that level of detail fails a little in the shoulder pads because they don't have that kind of internal detail, but overall it still leaves us with a pretty impressive figure. He stands very well, he has excellent articulation, he has ball-jointed feet, hinged knees, thigh swivel, ball-jointed hips, ball-jointed shoulder, bicep swivel, up and down hand, shoulder hinge, head is on a ball joint, so he's got a nice wide range of motion. In all honesty, I think this is probably one of the most fantastic color schemes that Prime has come in. And if you don't already have this mold, and you don't mind this thing. I can definitely recommend picking this guy up, just for the robot mode alone. Anyhow, that said, let's see if we can go ahead and get this sucker into truck mode. Okay. Let's see if I can remember where we start. I believe we start at the chest. Okay. Pull the chest down and out. It comes out on this little arm and will pop way down and out like this. Next, I like to go down and rotate the feet like so inside of the legs, which will become the trailer. And what's cool is, as you do that, the feet become the trailer hitch. There we go. It didn't have it all the way in. Now it's popping in. I like to leave these down for the time being. Anyhow, next part is a little tricky. Gotta find a way to get Optimus Prime's head crammed in here. There we go. I had to pull this down a little bit further, and down he goes. Oh, I also want to note, my toy came with a tiny missing peg, but it doesn't seem to have any actual effect on the transformation. Just thought I'd point it out. Okay. Next, what you want to do is pull these arm pieces out like this. Flip this down and out of the way. Now you need to do a little bit of finagling. What you're trying to do is get the arms... Oh, almost forgot to fold the hand in. What you're trying to do is get these arms lined up underneath what's going to be his cab. There you go. Just takes a little finesse. So you rotate that. Now that that's rotated into place, you can bring this side up. There we go. And you got one side complete. And come over and do the same over here. Rotate this. Whoops. No, I got ahead of myself. Rotate back, down, and around. Then fiddle with the lineup until it's sitting about where it should be. Which can be easier said than done. And while you're doing that, oops, I almost forgot an important step. Take this little piece on the side and fold it down so it's out of the way. It's the piece that fits right there. And it's folded up in robot mode to create a little bit of symmetry. With that down, you can pop those into place. Okay, get those pegged into place. Pull this side up and in. Okay, now before we seal the deal, pop these guys up and underneath. And these little bracket peg doodads here inside of either of the interior of his shin guards will pop into place into these little tab slots right about there. So get those locked into place. Then rotate the sides up and into place. Like so. Then the next bit is simply just fiddling until everything is in place. I won't lie, this toy has a lot of panels that need to be lined up fairly carefully. Otherwise you end up with Derptimus Prime like you see here. Okay. Peg together, pop into place. Peg together, pop into place, pop into place. And there we go. Now, his vehicle mode is almost as striking as his robot mode, but he does have significantly less of the amazing orange plastic. Get a really good look. Now let's increase the light a little bit. Get a really fantastic look at his chest plates as they appear as the windows. Oh, my particular piece has a gap here that I have trouble getting to stay 100% sealed. But this is pretty unique. That problem is fairly unique to the mold as far as I understand it. But yeah, you can see a lot of the fantastic detail through the sides. The back doesn't look too shabby. It looks fairly decent for a truck, even with this little bit of robot kibble there. Rolls well. Tires don't have much painted detail. Trailer hitch looks really authentic. And what else is cool is the trailer hitch can be used for storing both of his weapons in this mode. You can take the sword, slide it in place, then pop it into the peg. Then you can take the monstrosity and peg it onto the sword, and they will both sit there. It looks like he's kind of hauling some kind of funky nuclear reactor on his back, but overall, I think this is just a really fantastic Prime toy, even with this notwithstanding. Something you could do to kick it up a notch is wait and get the Beast Hunters Transformers Optimus Prime, which has the there's some kind of super magical sword from it, Star Saber. Yeah, you can get the Star Saber and equip it onto this figure so you've got some appropriate size swordage. Overall, this figure for the $25 price point really does not disappoint, especially with this nice big golden Autobot symbol and the little red detail for the Autobot symbol on the front. Good toy. I can't recommend this enough. Pick it up at Big Bad Toy Store as soon as you can. No telling how long these are going to last.